Alice began to cry again. This time her tears were so huge that they made a pool of water. Suddenly, the white rabbit came hurrying past. He was holding a white fan. I'm late, said the white rabbit. Please, cried Alice, can you help me? The white rabbit was so startled that he dropped his fan. Then he ran up as quickly as he could. Now what? Asked Alice with a sigh. She picked up the fan and began fanning herself. Before long, she was small again.
Small again.
How did that happen, she wondered. Then she saw that the more she fanned herself, the smaller she became. As she quickly dropped the fan, she slipped and fell into a deep pool of tears. Alice saw a mouse splashing about in the water and swam over to it. Oh, Mouse, do you know the way out of the pool? Sure is that way, answered the mouse. He pointed straight ahead. Soon Alice reached the shore. There she saw a blue caterpillar sitting on a mushroom. Who are you? Asked the caterpillar. I thought I was a little girl, said Alice, but I keep changing. It's so confusing. No, it's not, said the caterpillar. It is to me, said Alice. Here, have some of my mushrooms, said the caterpillar. One side makes you big, the other small. Alice nibbled on the mushroom until she was back to her normal size. Then she put some of the mushroom in her pocket for later. Thank you, she said politely, but the caterpillar had already disappeared. Which way do I go from here? Said Alice aloud. That depends on where you want to go, said a voice from above. Alice looked up and saw a cat. A cat! Meow! Sitting on a tree branch. It was grinning from ear to ear. I didn't know cats could grin, said Alice. My cat Dinah never grins. I am a Cheshire cat. We always grin, said the cat. What sort of people live here? Asked Alice as she looked up at the cat. The cat pointed and said, Hatter lives that way, a March hare lives this way. You can visit either, but both are mad. Oh dear, said Alice, I don't want to meet mad people. You can't help that. Everyone here is mad, said the cat. Then bit by bit, the cat started to disappear. Finally, all that left was the cat's big grin. I've never seen many cats without grins, but never a grin without a cat, said Alice, and off she went. Soon, Alice came to the Mad Hatter's home.
Darby and, the Mad Hatter's home, Betsy and Darby.
The Hatter and the March Hare were having a tea party. There was a dormouse who was fast asleep. They were all crowded in one corner of a long table. Alice went to sit down. No room, they said to Alice. Nonsense, said Alice, taking a seat. There is plenty of room. Have more tea, said the Hatter. But I haven't had any yet. I can't take more, said Alice. You mean you can't take less, said the Hare. Alice was very confused. I have a riddle for you, said the Hatter. Oh, I love riddles, said Alice. Why is a raven like a writing desk, he asked. Alice thought and thought. I give up, she said at last. What's the answer? I have no idea, said the Hatter. Alice stood up and said, that is the worst tea party ever. Then she stomped off into the woods. Alice stopped in a tree with the door in its trunk. How curious, she said as she stepped inside. Now she was back in the hall with a tiny door. The golden key was still on the glass table. Alice picked it up and unlocked the door.
Dominic, unlocked. Remember?
Unlocked the door. Then she nibbled on the mushroom that was in her pocket. Alice began to shrink.
Group 2, shrink.
How do you do that? Soon she was just the right size to enter the garden. The garden was filled with flowers, trees, and fountains. There were also two very strange gardeners. Their bodies looked just like playing cards, and they were painting white roses red. Excuse me, said Alice. Why are you painting those roses?
Okay, get ready.
The queen wants only red roses, said one gardener. If they are white, she will cut off our heads.
Queen of Hearts is gonna
Uh-oh, said the other gardener. Here comes the king and queen of hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
Their soldiers are coming too. The soldiers look just
Soldiers.
like the gardeners. The queen was very angry when she saw that some of the roses were still white. She pointed at the gardeners and screamed, "Off with their heads!"
Off with their
With
heads.
their heads. But then the queen saw Alice and forgot about the gardeners. "Who are you?" shouted the queen. "I am Alice, your majesty," she answered. "Can you play croquet?" asked the queen. "Yes, of course," said Alice. "Then let's play," yelled the queen. The balls were live hedgehogs. The mallets were flamingos. Alice had a hard time playing. The ball wouldn't stay still, and the flamingo kept twisting its long neck to stare at her. Alice couldn't help but laugh.
Laugh.
Laugh!
Right. Okay.
Alice had never played croquet like this before, and strangest of all, the queen kept screaming, "Off with their heads!"
Come on.
Then someone called out, "The trial is about to start." "What trial?" wondered Alice aloud. Alice went to the court. The queen and king were on their thrones. The white rabbit was there too. There was a large dish of tarts on the table in front of them. The king asked, "What is the crime?" The white rabbit blew his trumpet.
Trumpets.
Then he read from a scroll. "The jack of hearts stole the tarts." "Call the first witness," said the king. "The Mad Hatter," the white rabbit read. "I don't know anything," said the hatter. He was so scared he was shaking. "Dismiss," said the king. "Next witness," shouted the king. "Alice," called the white rabbit. Alice was so surprised. "Here I am, your majesty," she said. "Well, what do you know?" asked the king. "I know that this trial makes no sense," said Alice. "The tarts are right here on the table. They were never stolen after all. Case dismissed," said the king. "No!" screamed the queen.
Queen.
"We must punish the Jack of Hearts." "But that's nonsense," said Alice. "You can't punish him if there wasn't a crime." "Off with her head!"
Come on, off with their heads.
yelled the queen, pointing at Alice. The soldiers marched toward Alice.
Soldiers.
Soldiers, how do you march?
Come on.
Then Alice shouted at the queen, "This is the silliest trial I ever saw. I'm not afraid of you or your soldiers. They're just a pack of cards." The soldiers were furious. All of them rose up into the air. Alice screamed as the cards came flying at her. Alice waved her arms to push the cards away and found herself on a riverbank. Her sister gently brushed away some dead leaves that had fallen on Alice's face. "Wake up, Alice, dear," and said Alice's sister. "You've had such a long nap." Alice rubbed her eyes and said, "Oh, what a strange dream I had." Alice told her sister all about her adventures. She told her about the white rabbit, the Mad Hatter, the Cheshire Cat, and everyone else she had met. "That was a strange dream," said her sister. "Now run home, it's late, and Dinah will be wanting her bowl of milk." So off Alice ran, thinking what a wonderful dream it had been. The end.
Okay, the end. Play. Everybody.